The movie Evil, in original,
Ondskan.
made in 2003, is a Swedish drama. It follows the story of an adolescent young man named Erik Ponti during the 50s, his life in his family with an abusive stepfather, and his last year of high school. Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. If you don't know me yet, hi. They call me Ryan and I make film-focused content. From actual project of our own, like short films or similar, summaries and theories of different already existing movies, to teaching about filmmaking itself. If any of this caught your attention, then subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification. It will mean a lot to me. Leaving a like will also make me very happy, as will commenting your thoughts, whatever they are. Today we are going to be talking about a type of film that is not for everyone, but those who enjoys these type of films, this is the top in the genre. And if this is not exactly your cup of tea, how about you give it a try anyway? Maybe it will surprise you. Last thing before we start, this movie revolves around dark themes like domestic and child abuse, bullying and violence, and the cycle of trauma and abuse itself. If any of this triggers you, do not feel pressured to not watch this video. If you want to support me either way, you can check other of my project, other of my stuff. I have currently 2 short movies on my channel that I will very much be glad for support. Or other theories and analysis of other movies, and there is more planned to come out. For example, the first season, a video for a first season of Supernatural. Do not feel pressure to watch this one. It really is better for everyone. Either way, let's enjoy our time together and talk about a niche drama film. Thank you and enjoy the video. FYI, this, as was already said, this film is made by Swedish people from Sweden. The only, I tried to learn Swedish language years ago. The farthest I have ever gotten was learning how to sing Mamma Mia. So, the names, I apologize to everyone who will be named in this video. I will most probably read the names wrong, and I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Evil, as in the movie, was actually made as an adaptation to the same named autobiographic book written by Jan Guillou. I am actually very interested in reading this book. However, up until this point, I am yet to find it translated in a language that would be possible for me to read. So I have not read the book. By genre, apart from the drama, this movie could be considered as young adult also. The story speaks of themes like bullying, depression, domestic abuse, and injustice. It also doesn't forget to take jabs at the ignorance of authority figures. It shows how evil, the noun, is growing in the world, and more importantly, that we never know who lived through what and what happens behind a closed door of other people's lives. The film starts with a scene that introduces us to the main character, Erik Ponti, a normal boy in an unhealthy family with a physically abusive father. The scene is followed up by another in which we are shown the consequences of such situation. Erik being aggressive, beating up a kid to get rid of his frustration. Do notice that in these situations the other kids are mostly encouraging the behavior of the aggression. One of the most important scenes, at least for me personally, happens in the headmaster's office. The headmaster is cursing at him and scolding him, in the end expelling him from the school. The most powerful thing about it is his monologue, which is fitting, and it forces the viewer to really sympathize with Erik.
Erik Ponti! Du hörde upp. Att det sen råkar finnas lärare på den här skolan som mer än gärna framhåller din begåvning och ditt läshuvud, det gör inte ditt beteende mindre klandervärt. Tvärtom. Jag förstår det inte. Det är obegripligt. Skrämmande. Det finns bara ett ord för sådana som du. Och det är ondska. Ondskan i sin renaste form. Finner ingen annan förklaring. Nej, ett rejält kokstryk är vad du behöver.
With his mother's help, along with their family lawyers, he is accepted into a private boarding school, Strasbourg. In there, we get the chance of meeting new characters. Otto Silverhelm, that's how the head of student council introduces himself, explains to him the way their school works. The thing is, at Stainsburg High School, it's not the teachers or the higher-ups making and reinforcing the rules. Instead, it's the students themselves. The oldest ones, or those who had been there the longest, in form of student council, grant the punishments for the younger ones, while the council can choose to give them, apart from weekend detention and forced labor, also physical punishments, for example blunt force trauma to the head or challenging them into the ring. Interestingly enough, with the exception of the ring, if anyone attacks a member of a council, they will be expelled. The second important character is Pierre Tanguy, a new roommate. He's a very nice and kind boy. The two of them become friends immediately. At last, during the dinner time, a character of a petite girl, a cook, Maria, is added. She's the one who Eric falls in love with. Even though the school could be seen as a perfect one on the first glance, we learn very quickly that that isn't the case. After a mildly vulgar expression of Eric, his new classmate Johan gets a hit to the head with the blunt part of the top of a kettle. Despite that, all is not lost. Eric, Pierre and Johan are becoming a great friends, and Eric even got accepted into the school swimming team. While doing the forced labor and weekend detentions that he was given as a punishment for not following orders, the romance between Eric and Maria grows. Then, bad comes to worse. During the monastery night, a tradition where the older grades during the nighttime go and pull cruel pranks on the others. For Eric and Pierre specifically, they throw a bucket of their feces, their literal shit, into their room. Eric, the man that he is, decides to return it. Again, literally. They clean everything up in their room and take the refilled bucket to Silverhelm's room. Luckily, they weren't able to prove his engagement in the crime, so he didn't get punished for it. However, he couldn't have helped himself, and at dinner, he starts mocking and laughing at Silverhelm to his face. After what, Otto nearly beats him to death. The turning point happens when, instead of Eric, they start calling in Pierre. At lunch, they punish him with blunt trauma, then give him 3 weekends of detention, piss on his bed, and even going as far as burning him with cigarettes. After that, they challenge him to the ring, and there they beat him until he falls unconscious. Eric is attacked and tied to wooden stakes, pouring him over with freezing and boiling water before he is left behind outside in the freezing weather. Mind you, what makes this situation actually heartbreaking is the fact that Eric himself was the one who put down the stakes. Luckily, Maria finds him and brings him to her place. She helps him heal, and they spend the night together. When he returns to his room, he learns that Pierre had already dropped out of the school forever. He cries himself to sleep, broken. That is what finally breaks the camel's back, the last straw, forcing him to challenge two members of the student council, Dalen and von Schenken, into the ring. They are the same members who had beaten up Pierre. There, he decides to finish his revenge. The feeling of victory doesn't last long. Maria was fired. I would like to highlight the monologue of the teacher in the next scene. Crypto means hidden or secret.
Och eftersom Linné kallade denna grupp för kryptogamia, eller kryptogamer, där kryptos står för dold eller gömd, så ger oss detta dolt bröllop, eller dold befruktning.
In my opinion, it hints/underlines the reason why Maria left. During the checkup of Eric's room, Silverhelm steals a letter addressed to him from Maria. A letter where she tells him that she's pregnant. Because of that, he's called to the headmaster's office on the next day. He is not only expelled out of the school, the headmaster also refuses to return the letter to him. And, as a wise person once said, a man who lost everything has nothing to lose. So Eric, as pissed off as he is, follows Silverhelm into a forest and scares him to death. However, he doesn't physically hurt him anyhow. He packs his things, and before he leaves, he calls the family lawyer, who we could have seen at the start of the movie while his mother helped him with the school change. With his help, he gets both his letter back, but also permission to continue in the school. The film itself ends on a better, hopeful note. Eric successfully graduates and pursues future in law. The moment he gets home, he stands up to his stepfather and won't let himself be pushed further, promising his mother that this was the last act of violence. At last, he meets up with Pierre again, showing that the two of them are still in contact. That is the last scene of the film. All of the characters are very realistic, human. The cycle of abuse and, by extension, trauma feels, for the lack of better word, natural. They feel believable, well written, well acted. The casting director definitely deserves recognition for all of their work in this one. Eric Ponty is an interesting character, a perfect showcase of an abused boy from a bad family who's trying to get away from his situation. The way he acts is aggressive but also sweet and kind. We're shown his weaknesses, and it's very clear that he doesn't want any violence in his life. The actor, Andreas Wilson, did an amazing job at portraying him, his emotions, believable and readable. Eric's mother is a well-written abused widow. She's quiet, trying to not evoke any fights, while also not having any hope left herself. She lets her partner beat her and her only child. She looks away like it isn't happening and tries to escape into the world of music. Still, she is shown to really care and try to help Eric get away. Mary Richardson, throughout the whole film, doesn't seem like she's acting, like meant in the best way possible. Truly an incredible work. Pierre Tanguy, played by Henrik Lundströmen, is a character that is similar to the mother. He too had lost all hope. He's kind, smart boy trying to survive. It's a simple character that you cannot not sympathize with. Otto Silverhelm is a great antagonist. Cruel, ruthless, evil. The other side of the same coin. Giving this role to Gustav Skarsgård was a great choice. During the whole length of the film, you'll have a very strong urge to punch him in the face. Again, meant in a positive way, of course. I would like to highlight two quotes spoken in this film. This one, and then this one. Take out of that what you will. What I think this movie is trying to say is mainly, being kind takes effort. Breaking the cycle of abuse is hard, but it's worth it. And in the end, it will get better. Every person makes their choices, and yeah, often they are influenced by their surroundings, of course, and situations around them. But there's always a choice. People should try to protect each other rather than just watch and wait for things to change, for better or worse. Evil was nominated for Oscar once, along with other 9 prize wins and 10 nominations in total. Mikael Hufström showed a massive story in just a few scenes. In just 3 scenes, he introduced Eric's situation at home. The planning of the shots in the whole film was thought through, whether we judge by the first shot, the close-up on Eric, empathy sympathizing with the character, emptiness apathy in his face, and the greatly played dissociation, or by the monologue of the teacher before receiving Maria's letter. The script is, along with its paces, very gripping. That it's not caused by the editing only, which was dragged to perfection under the fingers of Derek Hodder, but also the dialogues. Hans Gernerson, Mikael Hufström, and Klaus Östergren, I am so sorry, who had written this art piece, had managed to bring over characters that weren't one-dimensional, even though that line is threaded by a thin line. Sure, they all showed one main characteristics, but it wasn't the only thing that made the characters. The work of the cameraman, Petr Mokrosinski, was fluent. In some shots there was visible shaking, but it didn't disrupt the film experience anyhow. To close it up, as I said earlier, I didn't read the original book. So I don't know how much it relies on it. If any of you did read the book, then please share your thoughts in the comments. This film is, in my opinion, underrated. Although, of course, I might be biased due to the fact that this was my favorite movie, kind of still is, when I was younger. Despite this genre and theme not being interesting for everyone, it's still a great movie to think about. Give it a shot if you didn't already, and then come back and tell me your opinion about it. There are many things I skipped in this video, so I feel like it's still worth it if you just watch me yap about it forever to watch it yourself. This movie can be found even on YouTube as the full movie, so you can watch it even on this YouTube. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, then you can watch it on like countless websites. Really, it's all over the internet for free. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it literally everywhere. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, check out my other videos and subscribe for the future ones. Tell me what movie or shows would you like me to cover. Currently in the works, there will be the next video should be on Supernatural Season 1. And then I am working on a special video about my favorite Dead Brainers. Like, I will put on a list of my recommendation why we should watch them. It's going to be real fun. So yeah, check out, subscribe to my channel and check that you have all of my notifications turned on. And I'll see you next time. Bye!